give it a minute. Too whippy for me. It's even worse than the open, that news candle. All right, guys. Let me just get this all set here. Main chat.
We have posted out the manufacturing ISM manufacturer for April 2025 on the financial.
Link. Okay. That's out of the way. All right. So let's take a look at these markets, see what we got going on here. Let's talk about how I traded this morning a little bit while this news stuff kind of figures itself out. So if you look at my chart here, there's, these execution candles are a little tough to decipher. Maybe I'll drop it down to the 1 minute. All right, that's kind of weird. That's different. Why am I getting different levels? I don't know. Anyway, this is what I was looking at. So basically what I was doing, this is my first trade, VWAP scalp. So I went long off VWAP, it kept going, then I went long off the lower band. And this level, guys, kept paying. I stop out once here. I stopped out up here. I protecting my capital here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I was able to keep scalping this thing from band to VWAP, VWAP to band, band back to VWAP, off the VWAP back to band. I mean, it just kept happening. So I just kept taking it. Right? Our rules are if we make it to value area high, we expect to go back to VWAP. If we can get back to VWAP, if we can't get through VWAP, we'll go back to the band. If we can get through VWAP, we'll go to lower band, and it keeps going like that until we have a contextual shift. So I just kept taking that trade over and over and over again. And it paid this morning. I'm up $1,250 cash account. And I'm happy with that. Let me see you guys over in YouTube land. Morning, Nathan. Let's take a look at gold. So Shotgun Eric, I normally get in at the touch of the band because I am a scalper, so I'm expecting the reaction. So I don't usually wait for confirmation aside from order flow, waning buyers or sellers. If it's coming up to upper band and the buyers are relentless and not slowing down, I won't take the trade. But if it's getting up to upper band and I can hear the buyers kind of losing out, I'll take it right at the band, or as close as I can get. For confirmation traders, they're going to usually wait for the rejection and strength away from the band. Now, the problem with that is if it's just a temporary reaction before it goes up, you're going to get in late and take a bigger stop. But that's the nature. You're going for a bigger move. So when you do catch the trade, it's going to make you a lot more money than your losses, right? For me, it's about 1-to-1. My win to losses are about even, give or take. If I screw up and fat thumb something, I might take a bigger loss than I should. Or if I get emotional and I hold on to something, I'm not perfect. I am completely fallible. I make mistakes. So I've been good lately, but it can happen. I'm just one bad decision away from losing a lot of money at any point. So I have to keep that first and foremost in my mind. I do, Jordan, on my, nothing too in-depth. I forget which one where I talked about, I go over it a lot on the stream. I will do a video on tick strike. Let me make a note of that. I'm working on an execution video today. Maybe I combine that with my tick strike video. Strike. All right, let's take a look at gold. I really don't have an in-depth video. I normally go over that stuff in group coaching and stuff with the members, but I can do a video here sooner or later. I'll add it to my list. All right, gold. Gold is trading in value on the session, but we are clearly in a downtrend. All right, look how we tested. I don't know if you guys can see that actually. Okay, you can see how on the daily chart we tested upper band on the year to the tick. All right, so we found good support there. All right, now we re-entered value. We are in the initial bounce and we found support at lower band, right? So currently this is fade value area extremes. Let's see we're in value on the initial balance and on the session and on regular trading hours, right? So to me, this is currently a long. We can get back up to VWAP. So, I'm a very short-term trader. So level to level, I see lower band of VWAP, IB high at this point until we contextually break out to the downside. Trading the fade value area extremes on gold. Till we break out of the initial balance. We have lower value area low. We have lower band. Everything is saying long. And so far, we've gotten a move up, right? So I expect to go to 37 and maybe 40. Kind of looks like a bull flag right now on the 5-minute. Yeah, so the tick sounds, are either buying or selling pressure on the tape, right? That's all based on what's happening on the actual time in sales, right? And it's based on an average over, a specific period of previous time. And if the average buyers are greater than the previous average buyers or sellers, I'm going to hear buying pressure, right? That gives me an idea that we're going to be moving up. And then the opposite is true to the sellers. So that gives me a pretty good idea of what's happening on the tape right now. It's not predictive. It's not entirely based on historical data, even though it does use a average. There has to be some type of way to calculate higher or lower buying pressure, right? So it's based on the last previous buying pressure. And when we have mixed markets like this, we got some stocks going up, some going down. ES and Q is weaker than ES. There's just a whole lot of, I don't like this choppiness. I'll wait for, some conviction to one side or the other. So thanks to everybody who's joining us on YouTube. We stream for the first 30 minutes of the morning for free. And then we trade on in our Discord room and the premium side till about 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Right? So let's see. So far on NQ, this is starting to look like some price discovery to the downside. If we can break out, or we can hold down here, show acceptance. But this is not a trade I'm going to take quite yet. Let me drop a profile on it. All right, we're at value area low on this pretty defined distribution right now. So I'm not going to short right into the value area low for what has been a trading range since the open. That's how you get bad. To me, this is still a long until we prove otherwise. But I don't like the bearish action right now, so I'm going to sit tight. Yeah, look at the Russell hit highs. Yeah, gold is gold's just trading in a balance area. Yeah, I have my results right here on the right. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yep. Here are my stats right here from this morning. I took 22 trades. Average time was 29 seconds. My longest trade was 3 minutes. 72% of them were profitable. And I'm up over $1,200 after commissions. Yeah, I was able to scalp this balance trading really nicely this morning. It was quite intense, but you know, it's the open, but I did quite well. There were really no uh-oh moments. I just kind of hit it. Yep, 1 to 2 minis. Yep. About $100 in commissions. Now things have slowed down considerably. So I'm going to kind of take a little pause here. We'll watch the price action and let's see what materializes. I don't see a setup here. I mean, this is so far along, but we're kind of like in this mixed area, right? So we wait. See if it holds again. I'll bite on a long here. That worked. Add another $110 to my profits there. I'll be right back. I just got to use the restroom. All right, so let's talk about that trade right there. Why was it a long, right? It was below the lower band on NQ. It was actually at the lower band on ES. And the way, let's look at ES here. I look at both. ES has this nice, tightly wound, look, the bands are shrinking, which tells us that, and that's doesn't happen all that often, but that tells us we are an extremely tight balanced market. Right, so that's fade value area extremes, guys, all day. Short the highs, buy the lows. Right, this is not breakout conditions. If you're looking for the big breakout, you're going to get trapped and you're going to get burnt. All right, these are not the conditions for trading breakouts until it, of course, shows otherwise. So why was this a long on NQ, even though it was below lower band? One, ES was at lower band. But also, I don't trade the bands in a vacuum. All right, on the volume profile, that was clearly a value area low. Okay, so, you know, it doesn't always play out to the tick. In ES, it played out to the tick. Yeah, Chuck, the long at value area high when we're clearly trading in balance is not a good idea. You're looking for a breakout when there is none yet. Always looking for that big move. That only happens 20% of the time, guys. If you're always chasing that trade, you got to be ready to be wrong 80% of the time. So tonight we have group coaching, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go over some execution stuff. And also, I have access to Edgeful, and we'll dive into that data a little bit together on initial balance and stuff like that. Anticipating breakouts, Logger. 80% of breakouts fail. You know, it's usually going to reject. Especially when we're trading in balance, can't get above. So that was a nice, you know, value area low trade to point of control. The point of control and the VWAP are narrowing. Right, so we're getting near to our good scalping conditions. You know, I bet there's a lot of short trap traders down there. Just took a little long on the break of VWAP there. So guys, all my execution, you can see my trades in real time here on this screen. We'll show you my P&L in real time. So I've made this all as transparent as possible. Look at that. Nice move. All right, now we're back at kind of, this isn't entirely value area high because it's kind of really up here. However, this is a low volume area. So that's why I just took a little scalp. VWAP to value area high here, or this low volume node. Quickly sold off as soon as it hit it, didn't it? Boom, all the way back to my entry if I would have tried to hold that. Okay. So ES is at value area high, whereas NQ is at VWAP. I find that kind of bullish.
Then this way from the bottom of the hour, we get the EIA and Africa change PCF forecast, which will build 109 billion at PCF. Compared to the high build of 88 PCF.
All right. Just a little scalp. So, you know, we're at our now point of control and VWAP are literally the same price. Doesn't get any choppier than that. So if you're trying to catch bigger moves here, guys, you're going to get spanked. Be very careful. This is scalper market right here. Small wins, small losses. Try to have more winners than losers. All right, this is promising. It's filling out that volume area on the profile. Fleshing out this distribution to the upside. But it's being met with sellers. There's no doubt about that. So this is a risky area to trade long. But it's clearly trying to flesh out to the upside. So, I mean, this is coin flip territory for me. Yeah, buyers might win, not before the sellers trap them and squeeze them all out before the big move. That might have happened already. Right here. I do like this price action. Trading in the direction from VWAP to upper band now. Breaking above value area high, filling out this low volume node. So I just took another little long scalp there with 2 minis already out. All right, that brought me up $1,600. And it's not even 10:30. All right, guys, on YouTube. Nathan, I do watch the DOM, yes. Yep. I'm not trading on the DOM. I'm using the buy, join, ask, join, bid buttons. Actually, trading on the DOM is a little too slow for me to get my orders in. So I'm really watching the price and the DOM to try and get the best fills I can. Morning, William. So when you enter a trade, do you add lots until it reverses, or do you have a target? No, I don't. I won't keep adding lots. You know, I'll only add one or two. Otherwise, I got to get out. Right? Eventually, I got to concede that I'm wrong, and I could wind up taking a much bigger loss than I want and ruin all the nice profits I've built up. So I got to get out sooner or later. Let's take a look at gold again. I mean, gold is just trading in a distribution here, guys. Look. All right. This is a distribution. We're at value area low of the distribution and lower band. All right. We can expect it to go back up to upper band or the other side of the distribution unless it can prove acceptance to the downside, which it has not yet. We're trading in a choppy balance area. So, you know, this is a long still until it proves otherwise, based on the principles in the core setup guide. So, and it's not returned to value because it never really left value. It's been trading in value all since 8:20 this morning for almost 2 hours. It's been trading in value, the lower side of value, but it's been in value. So this is a fade value area extremes. All right, we're testing upper band here on NQ. Bounced right off it. Imagine that. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to go all the way back to VWAP. There's a lot of bullish action here. So, and we've been in a rip-roaring 8-day winning streak here in the indexes. So, it's pushing. I might join this. I might join this party.
Just shame Don made those comments on the post comments.
Wow. Keeps getting bought up. Not getting the break. Sellers are hitting it.
Iranian official says Iran and US discussions will take place on different dates depending on the US's behavior. Also, Sheinbaum says that he agreed that the secretaries of the Treasury, Finance and Economy and Commerce will continue working in the coming days on options to improve our trade balance.
I mean, after the fact, Chuck, it hasn't proven itself to be anything but arranging markets.
Senior U.S. administration official says all three documents in the Ukraine deal were signed Wednesday. Ukraine's parliament expects to ratify and sign the minerals agreement within a week. And the Ukraine deal can be modeled.
I mean, the system doesn't really talk about trading from inside value to price discovery in one trade. So if that's you can't talk like that, Chuck. It'll drive yourself crazy. You took the trade, it's over. Look for the next one. Bullish action here. Ah, missed that move. All right, did that stop out and capitulate the shorts before it just rejects and returns to value? Well, there's always another trade. Sometimes I can't tell you how many times I scratch a trade or I get out for a small loss and then it just literally a second later just explodes in my direction. It's just how it works. I'm being safe. I'm protecting my capital. It's those same things that protect me from big losers.
1 minute to go after getting natural gas data.
So I can't get caught up, oh, I closed my trade for a scratch and it moved in my direction. You know, like if I'm doing the right thing every single time, I will make money consistently over time.
Not just rare earths.
Nice. Yeah, this has been good price action, guys, especially if you're scalping. This is beautiful. How's everybody else doing? Could be a back test of upper band logger, correct? But bulls have control right now. They're pushing this thing higher. So this is starting to look like price discovery. We're starting to get acceptance up here. Now there's really no trade here either. And it sounds like there's news, some type of news coming out. Initial balance is set. All right, looks like Jay passed his challenge. The system rocks. Awesome. $3,000 day for Jay. Heck yeah. Guys, go check that out in the trade reviews. Jay just posted his trades. They're beautiful. He maps all of them out. He's been doing a really good job of documenting his trades and his success trading this system. Good. And that's half the battle, Jay. Finding something that just clicks. Right? There's so many different ways to make money in trade, but that doesn't mean it fits how you want to trade or how you see the market. So this works for a lot of people. Some people don't like it, and that's fine. You know, every time somebody cancels the free trial or whatever, they put in a cancellation reason, and I love that. And a lot of people are just honest. And some people are like, this is not my style of trading. I don't like it. Okay. That's cool. I can appreciate that. Hey, Tony, we're just talking about you. We missed you yesterday. Yeah, Bob. I think anybody who traded small caps will appreciate this type of system with futures. And I think, in fact, I think it's superior to trading small caps. One, because you can trade both directions easily. Oh, nice. They made you? They forced you to take trades? Yeah. Those guys, man. All that peer pressure. All right, this looks like a back test of value area high to me. This could be a good place to get in long, but we still have sellers, so I haven't taken anything yet. ES really hasn't made it all the way back yet. See if it holds. I kind of missed the entry already. So what happens, I FOMO sometimes. Like it comes to the level and it does exactly what I thought it was going to do at the level and it pops. That's my trade. First touch. Where it comes to bite me, it's like, oh man, I was right. I take the second touch and that's where it goes lower. So, you know, if I miss it, I miss it. I got to let it go, right? That was a beautiful back test touch. It bounced nicely. Would have been a great trade. My journaling has told me when I go to take the second touch, that's when I get caught.
Already updated, but there's nothing on the EI's website. Still,
second touch works sometimes. It's not as highly probable as the first touch. And it could be the same double touch in the same 5-minute candle, right? Once it touches it and it pops, that's it. Once it goes to touch it again, all bets are off. But it looks like buyers are holding it here. I like this.
Iran Foreign Ministry spokesman says Tehran will continue to engage seriously and resolutely in results-oriented negotiations with the US, according to the state media report.
Seems like sellers are trying to push it down, but they could be soaking sellers here. Feels like they're soaking sellers. Yeah. So far, so good. Can it break EIB high? Look at that. Let's check out you guys over on YouTube.
Source for media, US never confirmed this.
Shotgun S, how can you join our training tonight? You can grab a free trial. There's a link in the description. TraderDrysdale.com. You can pick up a free trial and join us. You can check it out for a week, absolutely free. So no risk, no commitment. Come join us. If you like it, stick around.
The EIA says US natural gas report delay expected today.
Man, they soak those sellers. They're going to be the fuel for this next move. This is also the 20,000 mark in NQ. Man, so tempting to go long right here, but you know, I missed the trade already. Look at that burst through IB high. All right. So that was our price discovery backtest long. That happened right here in real time. I did not take it. I felt like I missed it, but maybe somebody else in the room took it. It was a good trade. You would have caught 30 points so far. Now it's got to hold IB high. It doesn't have to. It can dive below it, trap more sellers, and then use them for the fuel for the next leg up as well. Nice. Oh, that played out to the tick, didn't it? Look at that, guys. Boom. To the tick. No, yeah, no, a guy on YouTube said it doesn't respect these bands. No. Which makes, I mean, obviously it's not going to respect them all the time. Obviously it would never leave the bands if it respected them all the time. Sometimes it crosses the band. Yes, yes. Sometimes it crosses the band. That was a nice trade, guys. I'm glad you guys took it. because I totally missed it. I'll be right back. All right, ES is wicked above IB high. Still very strong though. Very tempting to kind of get in on this action here. Ah. All right, I gotta be patient. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not shorting this. Yes, it's the Globex high, but that's not a setup for me. Globex high is not a setup. Ah, there it goes. Nice breakout. So I'm going to sit tight, guys, while this thing, you know, I'm not chasing it. And this could take quite a bit of time. Well, would you look at this? We're approaching VWAP after the back test of the lower band on the yearly chart. Who predicted that on, what was that, Sunday? For anybody that was in Q&A?
US stocks send gains. S&P 500 up 1.3%. Nasdaq up about 2.2%.
So this is just our same setups happening on the higher time frame on the daily chart. We finally broke into value after we tested it 7 times, showed acceptance. I figured we would eventually get a back test to lower band. Didn't happen to the tick. Let's see about ES. Oh, weird. Look at that. That's so weird. But it looks like it tapped that lower band to the tick on the daily chart. Huh. So we got the back test. And now we're continuing up. It's not so much bragging as it is like confidence in something that actually works. Like it's really cool to like share something that like with confidence I can say, you know, this does this, this is how it performs. If I just follow the rules, this stuff happens over and over and over again. And once you have confidence in the system, you'll tend to stick with it. You know, you have one bad day or 2 bad days, or even a bad week, you're not going to switch your whole system. And that's what happens to a lot of newer traders. They think it's the system that's broken, so they go in search of something else. And we're all guilty of that. I don't have to poll the group on that one. I know we're all guilty of that. So gold also did what we thought it would eventually do. Right? Held value area low, and now it's making its way back to VWAP. You know, I would love to be in the trading lounge. I have so much to do. I'm going away this weekend. And as you guys know, I do a video every day and these long form videos, and it takes a lot of time. So that's usually what I'm working on in the afternoon. And I'm going away this weekend, so I have to make all the videos for this weekend this week. So I'm like doubling up on everything. And also I have a wife and I need to spend time with her as well. Because I do spend a lot of time on this trading business. And I have a son. When I spend time with him, I got to make time for all the things. I am. I mean, I don't know about close, but yeah, I mean, it's a couple hours drive. Absolutely right. Trading is for freedom. I'm not a showy guy. I'm not big into spending money on, I live in a nice house and I have a nice car, but like, I'm not into showy money stuff. So I trade for freedom. I wear plain clothes. I don't wear designer clothes. I drive a nice luxury car, but it's not a Lamborghini or, an exotic car. They do get jealous. And they don't understand it. My wife doesn't understand trading whatsoever. I've tried to explain it so many times. And I'm a good teacher, as you guys will attest. She has no idea. I am into cars, but like I said, I'm not like into really expensive showy cars. I have an Infiniti, a new one, Infiniti SUV, the QX50 Sport Edition. It's nice, white, nice wheels, turbocharged, red leather seats, all the trim set, the max trim. It's nice, gets me around. I like it, it's brand new. My wife drives a Lexus IS 350, also new. But nothing crazy. Cars are really expensive. It's kind of absurd how expensive some of these cars are. I used to drive a Audi SQ5. I've had two of those. And those cars are like approaching $100,000, which blows my mind. All right, slowing down a little bit here, but like, you could take the long of the back test to IB high here. Didn't really happen on Q. We're starting to build a distribution, a micro distribution. So the late entry long is the base of the distribution. All right, we're kind of getting back to our grindy action now. Right? Or renting the Lamborghini. I mean, come on. I mean, most of the people that have them are probably leasing it to begin with. I mean, how many people are dropping $300,000 on a car? Please, come on. Yeah. Those type of cars should be for people with like, yeah, not a couple of $1 million, but you need like tens of millions of dollars to justify spending that kind of money on a car, in my opinion.
Just getting some wider notation.
You know, just because you have a couple, you know, 1 or 2 million, or even a couple of million, I still think that car is too expensive for how much money you have. Just because you could buy one doesn't mean it's a smart, frugal thing. So let's see how we flesh out the rest of this distribution here. Oil's been just, look at this. Look at this chart. That's still 1 minute. Kind of reacted. I mean, it went straight into, I mean, it never really touched the band except for here. A little bit of a back test there. Hit VWAP, sold off a little bit, burst through it, bounced off upper band, pushed through, and then held the band. Interesting stuff. For those of you guys on YouTube, thanks for joining us today. We're going to wrap up here. Daniel says, my VWAP and volume profile system helped me break my 2-week losing streak. Props to you. I see so many entries now thanks to this. Awesome. Love that. Shotgun, hope to see you in our group tonight. Pick up a free trial. Otherwise, guys, we're going to keep trading in the Discord. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. If you're going to keep trading, manage your risks, stay sharp out there, and hope to see you in tonight's group training session, group coaching. Pick up a free trial for that. Thanks, guys. For you guys in the Discord, we're going to keep trading.
10 minutes away from the top of the hour.